Hello and welcome to City Cruise Live. Today we're going to continue with Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. And last we left off we were just about to enter another trial. That'll probably take an hour or two to figure out, even though we already know who the killer is in 30 minutes. That just seems like how these go. Okay. Everyone heard Monokuma's proclamation, and they were gathered by the red door. And as soon as we were all there...
Monokuma appears!
Why are there two? One was bad enough. Hey, Yui. Is it, oh, Gracie? I don't know. He's multiplied.
Wrong!
Nope, multiplication. Not multiplication. It's just that way because of an illusion. I'm moving so fast, it only looks like I've multiplied. Hehehe. Can you guys tell which one is the real Monokuma? Wouldn't they both be real? There's two! Hey Tiger! I'm glad you're following along. I thought you wouldn't be here today. But I'm glad you are. But I thought he said that they're both the same. They're just moving really fast. So that would mean that they're both real.
Whew.
Can we just get on the elevator already?
Boy, tough crowd.
You're not playing along.
Stop talking.
We're not here to play with you.
Okay.
Bye, bye.
Hey! Hey!
Then if everyone's here, let's get ready to go. Please board the pain train elevator. Silly bear tricks with alpha kids. Something came up with my friend, so yeah, okay. Well, that's unfortunate, but yay, you're here. I'll see you down there.
Let's go.
Okay then, shall we?
Please!
Hold on. This guy has a he's the one that... Yeah, he's the one that actually being suspected this time, so it's a suitable reaction.
What the heck?
You'll never be mentally prepared. You can't run away anymore, hero. You're gonna pay for your sins.
What the heck?
I told you already, I didn't do it, for serious!
Hmm.
That reminds me, did you ever find the other costume, or the note? Well, no. How unfortunate, then it would seem we have our culprit.
Hey.
This isn't the place to talk about it. Save your accusations for when we get into the courtroom. He's into hairplay. I really don't think it was Hero.
That's right.
I don't know what it is. She's right, let's go down there first. Then the story can really begin. Yeah, good idea. Let's do it already. Do it already. Do it. There we go. No? Can we please go down the elevator? I saw the dead bodies like 10 times. There we go. There we go. The door is closed, and we go down. Look at us go. Let's wait, okay. When I see all of you gathered together like this, I realize just how few of you there are left. Your school life is slowly reaching its climax.
Just the worst.
What if it was the older bear? But I don't think it is. I don't... Like, according to his rules, he said he won't kill anyone or something. Unless they break his rules or whatever. Why are you making us do such cruel things to each other?
What?
What? Do you really hate me so much? But I'm so cute! Well, half of you is cute. The other half... It's like questionable.
Come on.
Stop goofing around and begin the trial. Don't rush me! Of course I'm gonna start it! I would never be that, like, stay tuned for the action-packed class trial after the commercial break. I never hold out on you like that. Okay, let's begin! Get you to your assigned seats. And so the curtains open once again. A deadly judgment. A deadly deception. A deadly... Yeah, we already did all... Why does he say the same thing every time? Save, yes, okay. Alright, open the handbook. Let's see what truth bullets we have. So we have the Monokuma file that just gives the information about the death. Anime makes no sense. True. The tarp with blood on it, which I think was used to carry Taka. The dolly, which I think was used to move Taka? No, that doesn't make sense. Maybe. Then Hifumi's glasses got cleaned. A hammer that was cleaned. The door was locked for a short time. Skid marks, blood on a cloth. Oh, what did Celeste say? Because I actually kind of skipped over it. Hifumi's body disappeared when Celeste and Ao. How do you say her name? Rated M for murder. Ao? Ao! I don't know how to say her name. Left the nurse's office to use the bathroom. Apparently, when they were gone, for more than 2 minutes. Wait, they weren't gone for more than 2 minutes, right? But then Hifumi's body left. Yashihiro's message, Robo Justice's blueprints, which are not in the same writing as Yashihiro's message. So there's something tricky going on. The Robo Justice costume, Yashihiro's account, broken wristwatch, scrap of paper, Hifumi's note, okay. So that's the clues we got. So I don't think that it is Hiro, but who is it then? Allows you to reload 2 bullets at once, effective each one. Okay, sure. Oh, can't, okay. I don't need that. I saw a video where a guy was into... Okay, not on this chat. His body was so great.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial.
They talk now.
Your votes will determine the results.
So I don't have to talk anymore, I can just relax.
If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Now then, to begin with...
We already know who did it!
Was that?
It was Hiro. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place, and we found him in that suit. Don't try and deny it! You killed them!
I didn't! Someone knocked me out! I was asleep the whole time! I don't know anything about it!
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
Says the murderer. They only... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they talk like that.
Who are you calling
It would be
a
much
murderer?
better if they talked all the time.
I am sorry to say, Hiro, but we do have evidence. Blueprints for the suit. Parts we assume were used to build it. And all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling. It points to
I think
you
someone's
as
setting
having
him up.
created the suit
But
and
who's
wearing
setting
it
him
while
up?
committing crime after crime.
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't know! I don't know! I don't know!
Is Hiro really the killer, or... Before anything else, we have to make that clear. Okay, let us begin. Ready, Hiro? Yep.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
I don't know anything about that stuff! It's not true! It's a conspiracy!
Hiro, why? Why did you kill them?
No! Just hold on a second!
Look at the blueprints in there. Oh yeah, right. So that's what
Everything we found in your room.
What?
Shoot!
Most...
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit that you are the
Oh, the
culprit.
blueprints. Whoops, I missed that.
It's not true! It's
Hiro, why?
No! Just hold on a second!
everything we found in your room. The blueprints.
The blueprints!
They are.
No, that's wrong.
I didn't see that was orange.
Are we sure Hero really made those blueprints?
Wait a second, I have to change my settings on my computer. Because usually I make my screen a bit orange, just so I can look at it for a long time without problem. But in this game, it makes it hard to know which text is orange. Okay, there we go.
What do you mean?
Well, take a look at this. It's the note that Hero wrote, asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared. The handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say? When you compare it to the blueprints.
There's no way you could think the same person made both of them.
Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting.
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
Come on! I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my handwriting anyway.
Well, he's got a point.
So Makoto, are you saying you don't think Hiro's the culprit?
And he's not the only one. I think Hiro is innocent as well.
Why?
Then who was in that Robo-Justice suit? Is it like Hiro said? Was there really someone running around in a second suit?
The suspicious individual hidden within the suit. Go ahead, Makoto. Tell them who it was.
What is he like? He's like so calm and like stuff. How does he know if I even know it? And of course it passes it off to me. Yeah, what? You think I can solve this all by myself?
So, who was in the Robo-Justice suit?
The suspicious individual. The Illuminati. Hina. Why would it be Hina? Why me?
Shoot!
Oh yeah, it wouldn't be her. Then it has to be Hiro.
I got it! Other than Hero, I can't think of anyone else. Obviously, he was the one in that particular suit. And we never found any
Because
kind
it's
of
too much
second suit.
thinking.
Then there can be no doubt. Hiro is the prime suspect.
That doesn't make any sense. You just said Hiro didn't do it.
It is a bit hard just because they talk in such weird ways and talk for so long to explain one simple thing. So it just makes it harder to figure out what they're actually saying.
It makes perfect sense.
But it's not that hard.
Hiro
It's just,
was the
it's just
suspicious
annoying.
individual in the suit,
That takes
but
so,
he's not the culprit.
so long to explain one thing.
So what you're saying is...
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo-Justice suit.
What? Now that's a bold assumption. And what reason do you have to make such a statement? You do have a reason, yes?
Of course. But before we get to that, there's something else we need to clarify first. So let's get that out of the way.
Hey, stop trying to boss us around!
All things have a proper order.
So what is it? What needs to be clarified?
We must clarify the method of transportation for Taka's lifeless body. It would seem that his corpse was moved using certain particular items.
The top!
Makoto, can you tell us what they were?
The top! The top! The top! The blue top!
I got it!
There's still one more thing. I think it was the trolley as well.
I got it!
Yeah, cool.
They were a dolly and a tarp, right?
What's with the head?
So, let's see if I can explain. Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room.
Who do you
And then
guys
we
think it is so far?
rediscovered it in the repository.
I still think it's... Well, it can't be Hiro. But I have no idea who else it would be.
And when we found it for the second time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp, right? It was the same tarp that, up until then, was stored in the equipment room. So the killer must have seen it there, and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body. That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
Same thing. I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there. But when the body disappeared, later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository, so did the dolly.
Dun, dun, dun.
In other words, you
Because
think they
Celeste
used
or
the
Hina.
dolly to move the body. Am I right?
Celeste is pretty, like, suspicious because she's always so calm.
But are you sure you are not mistaken?
Like, look at her. She's all like, "Are you sure?"
Huh?
Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? That dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room. Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along, and you simply didn't realize it?
No, because it has blood on the wheels.
She's raised an objection.
It was her.
How do you
It was
respond?
There is no shame in being wrong. Nobody expects much from you anyway.
Oh, it's so her.
We have all accepted
yeah.
the fact
You
that
must be right.
rarely understand what is going on around you.
Because she's being so defensive. Oh, I've never had anyone sound so nice while being so mean. Maybe I can change her mind. I can just explain to them why the dolly must have been moved at the equipment room. Email them. Ah, what? Another thing in battles? Let's talk about reloading. Starting with the next bullet time battle, we're gonna add one more ingredient to the recipe. On the bottom of the screen underneath the tempo marker, you'll see your ammo count. Up until now, there hasn't really been a limit on how you destroy your opponent. But from now on, just locking on and pressing the left mouse won't be enough to handle them. Now it'll cost you 1 bullet to destroy a single Ramar. Once you run out of bullets, you can't destroy any more statements, no matter how locked on you are. However, you can reload by pressing the tab key. Just locking on, you have to press the... Just like locking on, you'll have to press the tab key in time with the tempo. Basically, just remember that the tab key now has a function along with, okay. You will automatically reload at the start of fever time, and your ammo will not freeze, but... If your action difficulty... Okay. Which case... Okay. Good luck, have fun. What if he killed himself? But there were 2 people that got killed. There was Taka and there was Hifumi. The moment of truth.
You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere.
Oh.
Do your worst. Away with you.
Ah, dang it.
You miserable wretch.
It's all these negative words, come
I
on.
cannot agree.
I'm a nice guy.
You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst, you miserable wretch. You have it wrong. I
Uh-oh.
cannot agree.
Uh-oh.
You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere.
I'm just gonna spam.
Away with you.
I'm trying to be in the tempo, but I don't even know where the tempo is. Oh wait, I don't have... Uh-oh, this is not going well.
You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst, you miserable wretch.
Oh, this is not going well.
You miserable wretch. You have it wrong. I cannot agree.
Did I beat her?
I cannot agree.
This should prove it.
Ah, so Celeste though. She's been so
If you're
defensive.
asking for proof that the dolly moved, I have it right here. When I found the dolly in the repository, one of the wheels had a blood stain on it. There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with a tire mark in it that matched the killer probably rolled the dolly through the blood on accident as they wheeled the body out of the room. And as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
Oh, it's so Celeste. Jesus, Celeste really hate me that much?
Well, anyway, that was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main subject.
Alright,
Yeah.
Byakuya.
The subject of how Robo Justice didn't do it.
The only good thing about
Because if it's
Byakuya
not a killer robot, then
is that he's on top of who's killed who.
what kind of robot is
I am
it?
smart.
I'm not sure that really matters.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer. If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become immediately obvious.
Because a person in the suit can't bend over, so you wouldn't be able to like pick people up or push people or stuff. Yeah, the Robo Justice.
As we know, Taka was killed in the
But let's
equipment
just
room.
listen to the whole thing.
And from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Well, yeah, but even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend over.
Ah, bend over.
Then
That's
you
the
could
one.
push the dolly no problem. So the killer just crouched down and carted the body off to the repository.
If you accept everything we just said, then you must realize that whoever was in the suit couldn't possibly be the culprit.
Sorry, I don't think I realize anything.
I realize it. You have to bend over, and you can't bend over in a
As we
suit.
know, Taka, and from there.
Yeah, then loaded it on.
Now, keep in mind.
Well, yeah, but even without, all you'd have to do is bend over.
But he can't.
No, that's wrong.
Break.
You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low. But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
What do you mean?
Think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together. Remember?
And as blind as a bat in the earth. You totally can't bend at the waist. Yeah.
When you're in that suit, not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist. Am I right about that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
Of course I'm right. Hino. I don't know how to say your first name, but I'm just gonna keep calling you Hino.
It seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
Well, what's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
It's so Celeste.
When you can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
There's absolutely no chance that the body was taken off because you can't take it off by yourself.
I got it! I don't think
Shut up.
taking off the suit
That's
was
all
an
for
option.
you, Celeste.
If you remember,
The annoying... Which one? There's a lot. It looks pretty steady.
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
Do you mean Byakuya, the posh guy? Because he's still alive, unfortunately.
Then, you really can't take it off by yourself? Hero
Do you mean
wasn't just making it up?
Hifumi? He just died. The big fat guy? Or the
Of course
posh
I wasn't
guy?
making it up.
if he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it.
He needs
Showing
to
up
be
in the
on.
suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect it.
Yeah, that's right.
So, it's really,
He's smart,
really
but he's
true
just-
that Robo Justice
he's
couldn't
so-
have moved the dolly?
He's so mean.
To be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hero in the robot suit, correct?
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took?
Wait. She took the picture, which means if she's the killer, she could forge the picture. She is so the killer. I figured it out in like 30 minutes.
You all got a good look
But
at
we're
it,
gonna have to sit
did
here
you not?
while
The
they talk
image of
about it
Hifumi being dragged away by Robo
for an hour.
Justice? If
Yeah.
whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that? Besides, do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said?
Why can't we just determine that she's the killer?
So long as
Yeah, we
those
have to wait an
facts
hour
exist,
now.
The proper
But we know who the
conclusion
killer is.
beyond question.
The proper conclusion is you.
The individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same.
Yeah.
No, it's
Hold on
not!
a second!
It's still far too early to reach that conclusion. Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did it before we rush to a verdict. Shouldn't we explore every single possibility? Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning.
What a pain in the ass!
Yes. Someone relates to me, thank you. Genocide Jill.
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do it.
I guess if it was like real life, you would want to take as long as possible to pick. Otherwise you'd all be dead.
Plus, maybe we'll get
This
to find
isn't-
out
this
where the
isn't
heck
real life.
Kyoko was when everything went down.
Just get on with it.
All right then, let's take another look back at what happened. I suppose we could start with this morning. 4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up. So that was around 8 a.m.
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went missing.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room.
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I know it was an hour, because I remember being attacked a little after.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume.
Yeah, but like... They
As
go
it
over it
turns
way
out,
too much.
It was
Like,
Robo-Justice.
It's not like it's a huge mystery. It's fairly straightforward when you... Like, 30 minutes. That's all it took. But I'm sure we're gonna keep talking for an hour.
It also soon became clear
Like,
that
I
this same
understand,
Robo-Justice had
but it's
abducted
just-
Hifumi.
Like, from a gameplay aspect... Just... It's too much. I mean, if it was real life, there'd be... I think there's more logic to say, hey, this place isn't so bad, we can live here, yeah.
We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library. He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect.
They need to accommodate people who can't figure it out. Whoever can't figure
But
this
not
out,
long after leaving the nurse's office,
this is not the game for you. Or unless you're like a child that's playing this, but then I don't know why you'd play this, because there's murder in it. Then they were blackmailed or something to force the killing. Yeah, but they were blackmailed. But like, how is the blackmailing worse than actually dying? It's not murder, the blood's pink. Oh yeah, it's just... They're just crying pink tears.
When Celeste told us that, we decided to split up and search the second floor. And soon after that,
I saw someone moving around on the 3rd floor, and I yelled out to everyone as
This is
soon
a
as
mock trial.
and then... At that point, we decided to divide up
Start
into
killing
two
or
groups.
everyone dies. But I don't think that was a motive, was it? The only motives they gave was blackmailing them with videos of... Like, people on the outside dead. And they were already dead. So it's not like you could save them. So, I don't know.
Celeste, Hina, and I went while Sakura, Byakuya, and... When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi, dead.
But there were rules. Oh, there is rules. But I can understand isolation would be bad. But you have like a pool You have a bath, you have a spa. Why would you leave? You have a place with like a rec room and stuff. Thought guilty, I changed everyone's mind. There,
And that's when we heard the body discovery announcement.
No rules against murder though. Like, but they made this self-imposed rule. Like obviously they wouldn't want to murder each. I don't know. I just think it would have all been better if they just
Celeste and Hina
decided to stay in there
to the third floor
instead of killing each
to
other.
let the others know what had happened.
Meanwhile, we had just discovered we must have found both because we heard the same announcement not long.
With X number of people forever.
And that's when I told you guys about
Yeah, but
Hifumi.
murder or isolation, which one's worse? Like, that's what I'm saying. Whoever did it wiped his glasses.
Then the three of us headed for the nurse's office. But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us. And she told us something very surprising.
Yeah. You love isolation. Yeah, okay.
We rushed back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
Then we remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room, so... But when we got there, we discovered that now Taka's body had also gone missing. Next thing we knew, we were searching the school for 2 missing dead bodies. And after some time...
Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository.
Celeste was like puppeteering everything.
Which is where we rediscovered
so
the
she could
corpses.
control what people thought the story was.
I think that about covers it.
I see. The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated.
Not really, it's Celeste.
It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
Okay, well, if that's true, then what?
It's like the Hunger Games better. Yeah. Why would they participate in killing? Who's hot? Kyoko? Yeah, she's alright.
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation. And from there, we can
Hina
uncover
is still
the
there.
contradictions surrounding all of them. Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
We're starting again? We just started again! What? The contradictions that happen between Taka. I have to find them no matter what. Okay. Monkuma's file.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last
What makes you say that?
because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
Oh, I missed the last one, but the Justice Hammers were numbered, but were they really used in that order? Wait, I need to go through this again.
I wonder if, or perhaps it was. We already know what order Taka came last.
What makes you say
Do we
that?
know what
Because
order?
of the numbering of the Justice.
It's true that Hifumi was while Taka's death came.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
So, regarding Taka's,
I wonder if, or perhaps it was after.
You
We
say this
already
one, right?
know what order they were killed in.
Ah, nope.
Shoot!
I'm so bad at doing this though.
So,
I wonder if, or perhaps it was. We already know Taka came last.
What makes you say?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
Oh. I'm gonna lose.
Shoot!
Uh oh. What happens now? Oh. Okay, wait. What happened? Did I just fail?
Is...
Yeah.
I refuse to give up yet!
Alright. Like, you can't lose this game. Do I have to steal the clue? Wait, is it Hina? Now I'm confused.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in.
Do we?
Taka came last
What makes you
Is that
say
a bullet?
that?
No?
because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that
The
Hifumi
numbering.
was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
So, regarding Taka's death,
Okay.
I wonder if, or perhaps it was after. We already
So it has to be
know
this
what
then.
order they were killed in.
Hey! Okay.
No, that's wrong!
Right.
Hold on. There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers. If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order, but in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi? Okay then, let's see the proof.
Evidence say we were killed before. What time? Relates. Hangman's Gambit. What was this one again? Oh, this thing. W. What? I? I think that's writer. Or write something. Oh, wrist. Oh, wrist. Watch. Wrist. Watch. Yeah. I can spell. Yes.
Now I understand! I've got it! Taka's wristwatch! See? Look! It broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
it must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer. Because as of last night,
No, you can't spelling you with just you. Yes.
And that would be his official time of death.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
that's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
That simple fact slipped past all of us. We made the wrong
But
assumption
not you,
about the order
Makoto.
of events,
You're
all because of those
special.
justice hammers.
Nothing slips past you, Makoto.
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size. That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window.
Dun, dun, dun.
Because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder, but all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
That's right. With him,
Except
at
for the
least,
tiniest-
we're all safe.
Shh. That's right. Well, with him, at least we're all safe. Is Hina it? Because she's also acting a bit suspicious. Shush.
When we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together. Then we all ran down to the nurse's office.
No, I'd say Celeste is being more
That's totally
suspicious
true.
than
We're all in the clear.
Hina.
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on!
How did he come up with that? That was so random. What was his thought process?
If that's true, where's the tape?
I don't know.
Don't just go making stuff up.
Yeah. What is wrong with you, hero?
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream. Since all of us were there together, Clearly, none of us could have killed him.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared. When his body vanished from the nurse's office, Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct? And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room. At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing.
Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then.
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body. Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway.
In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies.
Stop being so defensive, Celeste. I know it's you.
On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
So what now, Kyoko?
So for now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles. So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how. In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
That's true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing. And according to what Celeste said,
Could not have gone more than 2 minutes. But then the killer was able to get in and move the body in that short amount of time. It would seem
his
so.
body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took
You got
their
a
eyes
Pocky.
off of it.
What is the Pocky game? I never really had a Pocky or whatever. Body room.
But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the third in that short amount of time?
Muscle lady. Do you think it's the muscle lady?
Oh man, yeah! There's no way! It'd be impossible!
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
Elaborate.
What? How?
If the dead body were to move itself.
Zombies! Yeah, she got strength.
The dead body moved on its own?
No! Not another... No!
How is it a ghost if it's a body moving? Like, unless it's possessed, but then, like... Why would a recently dead person be possessed by something else? I don't know.
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is... We thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
They're so good fucking games where one person eats one end and the other person eats the other end, and if you're willing to kiss them, you win. Okay.
He was alive?
Are you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
Mamma mia!
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
Why would he do that?
That it isn't possible.
Ah, she's being defensive again. The idea that is that really possible? Because the glasses were cleaned. Maybe he cleaned his glasses. Oh wait, no, broken wristwatch.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible.
Ah, Celeste.
Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
What? There was nothing in there I could choose, but I feel like this one's a choosing one. To get away with murder, someone, kill someone, play dead. Kill the same. But he died as well. He actually died after. From blood loss, I assume. Yes. I never had Pockies, but yeah, you can get them here. I just never really had them. Hifumi's body was discovered at the almost the exact same time.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found, and
Oh,
that
that was
is why
fast
the
enough, so-
announcement was made.
Are we real? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal
Someone else's discovery.
I don't know what's the right thing for this.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found,
Oh, there we go.
and that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended
Intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Ah, oh.
Shoot!
Are you saying that when we first found
Targeting
Hifumi
the
in the
golf
nurse's
lady?
office, there's a chance he was actually...
No, it is Hifumi was dead.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovered. Hifumi's dead body
Had been found.
and that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Are you saying that when we first... there's a chance he was actually...
Still alive.
Oh. What? Rather detective. Okay.
Are you
I
saying
don't understand
that when we
this
first-
game that
there's a
much.
chance he-
No.
Like, I
Hifumi was
understand
dead,
it, but
and
the
you know that
wording of
surely you heard
things
the body. Hifumi's dead body.
is
and
so
that
confusing.
Is why. Are we real? Maybe
The announcement was intended to
Signal someone else's discovery.
Are you saying that when we first... there's a chance he...
no. Hifumi was dead, and you know that. Surely you heard the body discover. Hifumi's
dead body had been found.
Okay.
No, that's wrong!
Thanks, Zephyr.
Was the body discovery announcement that was made really intended for Hifumi?
Of course it was. The announcement played right after we discovered his body.
Maybe. But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
So there's a good chance we've made a mistake in there somewhere. I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
First of all, if 2 bodies had been found, there really should have been 2 announcements.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
What do you say, Monokuma? Any comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail. But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
That didn't answer our question, man. We're asking if you're a lazy bum.
No, actually, that was plenty.
Did 3 people not meet a
He
Hifumi
said
right
it's
now?
only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time, which means
Right.
even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again. If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
Dun, dun, dun.
Huh? Later on?
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice.
First time it played, when each body in the equipment. Second when.
I got it! We heard it a second time in the repository, when we rediscovered the 2 bodies. It didn't seem weird at the time, but it contradicts what Monokuma just told us, doesn't it?
So Hifumi was awake.
Exactly. If
Or
we were
alive.
actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
then in reality,
But then, he wasn't actually dead when we came into the room. Because remember, Hina was like, there at Hifumi's head and like, stay alive, Hifumi! Stay alive! And like, then he died.
when the 2 dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually being discovered for the first time.
So, when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet. Meaning, he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
And that's just part of it. There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
Oh, I know! Because he was super good at playing dead! Bada bing, bada boom!
That is the worst logic I have ever heard. But honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he was still alive.
Okay then, let's take another look at the events surrounding the discovery of his body. Then it should become clear whether he was really alive or not.
This whole thing is pointless.
Ah, Celeste, you're getting a bit anxious. That has been proof Hifumi was still alive. Yep, Hifumi's glasses.
Well, here's one thing we do know. The first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office. And then, while me and Celeste were in the bathroom, his body disappeared.
And the next time we saw his body, it was in the repository.
But when you compare his body before being moved and his body after being moved, other than the change in how it was positioned,
His
there
glasses!
was no notable difference.
His glasses!
Then, was he really still alive?
Of course not. It is impossible.
This is ridiculous.
Ah, Celeste, I got you. I got you, Celeste.
Well, here's one. The first time we found
You're
him
a dead woman.
his body disappeared.
And the next time it was in.
But when you compare
She
his
killed
body
2 people.
other than the change in
There was no notable difference.
No, that's wrong. In fact, there was one clear difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and the repository. His glasses. That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
Perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of us in?
When we found Hifumi
That's
in
a
the
pretty
nurse's
good playing
office,
dead, though.
his glasses were covered with... But when we found him again later in the repository, they were spotless. And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can.
The thingy thing. Where is it? This thing.
I got it! It was a glasses cleaning cloth featuring a certain cartoon mascot. One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear. This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean. And the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera, right? And whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
The character was Princess Piggles from Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess, I think.
Great.
I highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
Byakuya and Hifumi.
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
A few tissues is all I need
Ah,
to
she
keep my
needs it
glasses
too.
clean.
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
So what you're saying is...
It's Celeste!
What exactly?
What I'm saying is, the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
30 more minutes. More than what I needed
Even if that is
to figure
true,
out this
it
problem.
does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
That's a good point.
And it must have been him, right?
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office. He pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see. Then he stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet. And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse
Copious.
becomes possible.
That's one way to put it.
Wouldn't you say?
But then, if he was just pretending to be dead, What was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
Nah, it's blood.
The fridge in the nurse's office contains packs of blood for.
He figured if he was gonna play dead,
Ah.
he should go all out, so he just dumped it everywhere!
Wait, why did he play dead in the first place then, though? If he wasn't dead at all, or even hurt.
But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done! God, what an idiot!
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained. It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
Get away with me. But Hifumi's dead now. The one who moved Taka's body. Sakura? Hifumi.
I got it!
Is it Hifumi?
It could only have been Hifumi.
But how is he dead then?
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
The door was locked? Well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them,
What a
right?
twist.
So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside. Which means, when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was
Someone
already
killed
inside.
Hifumi. But the door locks from the inside.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
Okay.
He convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository. So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
But that means he took part in the murders.
I just
This
can't
takes so much
believe it.
longer than it needs to be.
If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
There's more?
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed. You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The item he took off of Taka's lifeless body?
Ah, the note. But now I don't understand how Hifumi died. Like, who would have been able to kill him?
I got
And
it!
why did Hifumi kill Taka?
You're talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
Hidden note?
That's right. We found it stuffed in his pants.
What? In his pants?
Yes.
His pants.
Okay, well, forget about the pants for now. Take a look at what the note says.
Ah, that's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go.
Did Hifumi write that note? I think the fact that he moved the body was probably the biggest piece of evidence, not the note.
Huh? Wait, this one's a little different. In my note it said, Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m.
I see. Then this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
It's not the same?
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro. And that person could only have been...
Hifumi's pants. Yes, he got in touch with his pants.
I got it! That's right! Taka! The killer used this note to draw out Taka and murder him.
Hello? Over here! Objection! Objection! I don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right?
What is that? Is that hearts? I can barely see that.
So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Huffy!
Just to be clear, TikTok is Taka and Huffy is Hifumi.
Ugh! Yes! Why must you ruin it every time?
Seriously scary, but still, I can't let it get to me. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, 3 things? Dang. Okay. Looking at glasses, okay.
Huffy had the note, right?
for must have been Happy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
The time on the wristwatch was 6 a.m.
Happy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Happy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
No, that's wrong.
I like how dramatic this thing
No,
is every time you
there
like
absolutely
get
is
someone.
a connection.
No, it's wrong.
What the hell are you talking about?
The note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time Taka was murdered. We've already proven that using his wristwatch. But there's more. Look where the note says to meet. The equipment room, right?
Which is where Taka was killed. I see.
So, Taka was murdered at both the time and place written in the note. I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Well, when you put it like that... No further objections!
Then someone used that note to trick Taka. Just the same as me. The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster. Telling people they found a way out.
But if they gave the note to Taka,
Who would believe?
what was
Why-
Hifumi doing with it?
I think you're dumb to believe it in the first place. What was the feeling?
Stuffed down his pants, no less!
Because he didn't want people to find out. Because he killed Taka, I'm guessing.
Most likely. Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
He stole it?
Where's your proof?
Proof is that it ripped from his hands.
I got it! When I searched Taka's body, I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper. If I'm right about this, the sheet of paper this piece came from is... I knew it! It fits perfectly
Wow.
with the note we found hidden on
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi's note.
Yup, they're from the...
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only one way to explain it.
Hifumi
Taka
took the
died
note.
clutching the note, leaving
Yeah.
behind. Did I get all that?
That
Yes.
means Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Ah. So I think Hifumi was in on the murder, but he didn't do any of the murdering. He was an accomplice that just went to distract people. And then he got killed because he was an accomplice. And the actual murder killed him so there was no evidence left or something.
Whoa.
Which I still think is Celeste.
Yeah. After seeing all this, Hifumi was super involved in this whole thing for sure. In fact, he was behind the whole thing. In fact, he's still alive!
He's not alive. That's a bit too far.
Sorry, no. When we found him in the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely dead. The second body discovery announcement proves that.
So then, who killed Hifumi?
Whoever did is the mastermind, the true killer.
He was killed in the repository. So he must have been killed not long after transporting Taka's body.
So, he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
During that time, we'd all split up and were searching for Taka's missing body. In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
Wait, but me and Sakura were together. Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus! Who are you calling a walrus?
Anyway, when they were killed bothers me too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more.
And what might that be?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
The weapon?
Yeah, because I mean, According to the Monokuma file, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same. But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room, right? So if Hifumi was killed in the repository, the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Hifumi, then put the hammer back where they found it.
No. There's hammers in
Wouldn't
the
that be
repository.
seriously risky for him?
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that skull of yours after all.
Hell yeah, it's packed in there good and tight.
He's right, though. I don't understand it either. The Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed using similar instruments. But if the hammers were already laying around those other rooms...
Monokuma's pretty messed up to like know how everyone died and just like let them try and figure it out. I thought his head was all hair. Which one?
So the question is, how
Hero.
could the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammers? Personally, I haven't a clue.
So which
Personally,
hammer
I
was
think
used
it's
to attack
useless.
Celeste? Number 1 or number 2?
Those were accounted for in other rooms too. And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
Hey, look, there's stream delay. I have trouble sometimes.
Is it not possible they used a different weapon?
I don't think it is
Well, a few of them
possible.
do.
They were both
The
killed
goth
with
chick
same kind
also
of
has
thing,
like
right?
a lot of hair.
So then, what was
Even
used to
Sakura
kill
has a lot of
Hifumi?
hair. Okay. Spotless hammer, yeah.
What was used to kill Hifumi?
Spotless hammer.
Was it Justice Hammer 3? Maybe
Was it Justice Hammer 4? Was it Justice Hammer 5?
Whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance! Check out murdergear.com/hammertime for more info!
Well, one thing seems pretty clear. The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers!
No, spotless
And,
hammer.
that's about it.
Okay, I think it's that last one that Hero was talking about.
Well, there's one. How was the culprit? How did nobody... Sounds like a Justice Hammer! Check out murdergear.com!
Well, what
The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers!
No, that's wrong. The murder weapon wasn't a justice hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
A normal hammer.
But, seriously? A different weapon?
It's not that different.
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris, but for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean.
Huh?
And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder. If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off.
Yeah. No, that's wrong.
I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. And even
But I think
some
they'd have to
flat
remove quite a lot of
mallet-like
different
ones.
things to cut down time. It's not just the animations.
I think whoever made the Justice Hammers used those as a basis for their design.
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma file's note about the wounds being similar.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
And whoever did that is the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him.
Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him. The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder. So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
What are you talking about? Spotless hammer again. I'm guessing I have to choose a different thing.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
Is it 2 murders that I have to select?
Based on the rules that
Not
have been
impo-
laid
oh.
out for us, even if
Not
more
impossible.
than one person is
Only the one who actually, assuming the rule holds true.
That is.
But that only really applies if there's one. In this case, however, there were two murders.
2 murders, I think, and then go to impossible.
Based on the rules that even if more than one, only the one who actually
carried, assuming the rule holds true, it is simply.
Yeah.
No!
I'm learning! Are you happy, Seppa? Proud of me?
Since there were 2 murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
What do you mean?
If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Risk versus reward benefit?
The payoff
Scene
for
from the
working
detective
together.
and shoot the golf
The
lady.
reward that balances out there's no point in being someone's
every time.
accomplice if there's no benefit to you. However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then
You're saying that 2 people could act as each other's accomplices to commit 2 separate murders.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime. And based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka. They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating 2 separate incidents. And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look. A single
It's still
suspicious
Celeste.
individual, a similar weapon used
For
in
almost
each
an hour
crime,
after I figured out it's
disappearing
Celeste.
bodies. By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person
Oh well, actually
was behind
Yui
it all.
figured it out. I elaborated.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice. Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
That's just awful. How could anyone be so cruel?
Celeste, the person that said you have to adapt to your situations.
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still, their choice of accomplice seems odd.
Ah, she's looking away. You ever made me convince him? Kyoko must be noticed the fact from the opening. When you think about it, she's almost too amazing. Okay.
I understand how an accomplice could be involved. But then, who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings?
That's problem numero uno right now.
The true killer manipulated Hifumi to carry out the murdering actions, and in the end murdered him. Up in the debate until now, the way the case has unfolded, when you consider all of that, there's really only one person who seems to fit. Select someone. I'm going with Celeste. Look at her. Looking like she doesn't care.
Here's my answer.
Yeah.
It was Celeste.
So I'm the suspicious individual now, am
Yes, yes. You have been for an
I
hour.
really do hate this kind of joke.
A joke?
So what you are saying, then, is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi. The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him, that I would go within 10 feet of that shit from brain fat,
Oh, whoa.
lazy, worthless,
Wow.
goddamn idiot!
Language.
Pardonnez-moi.
Just to be clear, there is evidence to support it.
Is that so?
It is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the 2 of you. Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the 2 of you were working together.
What is common? Screaming? Screaming. No.
Shoot!
Not it? Whoops. Paper hidden in Fumi's pants.
I got it! The behavior they had in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it? The only ones who ever actually saw Robo Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Shush. Shush, Zappa. I'm not as smart as you, okay?
Shush. The adults are talking now.
Oh, wow.
Sorry.
Makoto is such...
As he said, only Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual. If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste...
Are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct? And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said? We headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen. Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor,
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
and when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said?
The strange costume man.
Once she'd done her job of getting us all up to the physics lab, it was time for her partner to get to work.
It was to get us to divide into two groups. So that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
You know, that's pretty clever though. To set that all up.
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up. Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected. And on top of that, that piercing cry of yours early on.
That was very weird. And she would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for you meddling kids. And that weird Craig person.
That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we're on the third floor, everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
I just realized another strange thing. When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead, Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered. You wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our minds.
I don't believe it. Everything. The whole thing was one big act.
Hina, you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Yeah. I was feeling kinda sick, so Celeste took me to the bathroom. Wait! Then that was...
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed. Wouldn't you agree, Celeste?
I have no idea what you mean.
She's still gonna deny it?
Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
Oh, did I?
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but looking back, I can say that that one little slip-up was your undoing.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
I remember her saying that too. but I don't understand what's so strange about it.
Then pay attention. Sakura, Toko, and I were first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room.
Ah, so she didn't actually see it when she said that.
Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed. So Sakura and I left with Makoto. Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the four of us headed to the nurse's office. Now, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead.
Dun, dun, dun.
Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Although I don't really get what it means.
You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. Could you repeat what you said? If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
Comment doesn't make sense, but what is he alluding to?
All I said was, they must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here.
Those
We
are
are
weird
going
words.
to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's obvious, isn't it, what was so strange about Celeste's comment?
Well, she said she was running out. Those guys.
All I said was, they must really be enjoying this.
Enjoying the sight of us. They must be. We are all going to die. We are going to die.
Just like those guys died.
Do you want me to select those guys?
Shoot!
All I said, they must really enjoying the sight of us. They must be. We are all going to die. We are going to
Die. Just like those
guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's obvious, isn't it, what was so strange about Celeste's comment?
Yeah, it might be so strange.
All I said was, they must really enjoying the sight of us. They must be. We are all going to die here.
We are going to die, just like those.
Yeah.
No, that's wrong.
Might be close.
That's right. There's no reason Celeste should have said, just like those guys died. When she said that, none of us had told her Taka was dead.
Exactly. And we didn't run into her until after we were all out in the hall. So there was never any chance for her to have seen his body in the equipment room for herself.
So how did you know, Celeste? How did you know more than one person had been killed? And how did you know they were both guys?
Dun, dun, dun.
Because Kyoko had also disappeared, right? So she could have been dead too.
You all have such vivid imaginations. You know that?
Imaginations.
You claim that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw. Then what about the picture I took? How do you explain this picture of the costumed villain dragging Hifumi away?
Well, if they were both in it, then you
It
can set it
has
up.
to be some kind of setup, right?
Yeah.
So let's put the suit on. And then she used the camera's timer to set up the picture.
Have you so quickly forgotten? You are the only one who could have possibly fit into that suit. Plus, I happen to know that this particular camera does not have a timer.
Why do you know that?
In other words, it is an unassailable fact that this is a picture of Hifumi being dragged away. If everything I told you was a lie, how can this picture exist?
Simple. Are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away?
What could you possibly mean by that?
Surely there are other explanations than the one you've offered up.
No, there is no other explanation.
Are you sure? The only possibility is the suspect in dancing. Drinking. Ifumi's dragging the suspect away.
I got it! It's not a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
I don't know how that works because he was in front of it, but okay.
That's certainly within the realm of possibility.
Like, that
The
doesn't
one
look...
being dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi, but the person in the robot suit.
Like, is he carrying him on his back or something?
We've simply been led to believe that it's the other way around. And the strange costume might only exist to lead us astray even farther. If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation, of course you'd notice and be suspicious.
That's what happened! You put me to sleep and made me out to be the bad guy in all this!
Such a thing is utterly impossible. Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous.
Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all.
Then shut your mouth and allow me to
Oh.
educate you.
Catfight's gonna happen. Celeste thinks that she can prove it in no way. I don't actually know how we can prove this. Robo Justice. Robo Justice. Wait.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out! Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight! You tried to make me look like the bad guy!
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
Then the fortune-telling idiot is the culprit after all!
No way!
Maybe something with the blueprints?
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out! Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight! You tried to make me look like the bad guy!
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
Oh, wait.
Then the fortune-telling idiot is the culprit after all!
Oh, so many
No
things.
way!
Oh, whoops, I just ruined it. What do you think, Seppa? You've been on this? This one's a bit difficult. See, it's not that it's actually a
You
difficult
dressed me
question
up
to
in that
answer.
suit after I passed out!
It's just that they word it
Then
in
you
such
just
weird
draped me
ways.
across Hifumi and had him carry my weight! You tried to make me look like the bad guy!
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
But there is no bend at the waist thing
Then
in
the
here.
fortune-telling idiot is the culprit after...
No way!
What do I just do?
You dressed me up in that. Then you just draped me. You tried to make me look.
Like I said, as you can see in the picture,
If the person inside the suit, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
Okay, yeah.
No, that's wrong.
Because they can't bend at the waist, yeah.
No. Even if the person inside the suit were unconscious, they could still stand up like that, because that Robo Justice suit had a certain characteristic.
You can't bend at the waist. Ah, dang. If only it could bend, she could have gotten away with it.
That's right! They totally made a mistake when they made it, so it couldn't bend at the waist.
I'm not so sure that was a mistake. I think the suit was designed from the beginning to be used the way it was.
That's a new position.
Celeste and Hifumi took the suit they'd specially designed and stuffed Hiro into it. That's how they were able to fake that whole thing. The point of it all was to make us believe whoever was in the suit was to blame.
Well then, I suppose this is checkmate.
Checkmate?
Don't make me laugh, you idiot! What do you mean, checkmate?
Haven't seen her like this ever.
Clearly, You want to cram me into your little guilty
Her voice is all
box.
changed.
One little problem.
She like doesn't have an accent anymore. Oh, it's like a different accent.
Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying?
Yeah, but if Fumi was in it.
When we asked
So-
him who had attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not? He said, and I quote, Yasuhiro. In other words, Yasuhiro Hagakure!
Wait, but my name isn't really Yasuhiro. It's actually Taro.
Ah, dang it, Hero.
Your confusing statements don't make any sense. You're only making things more complicated.
He did say Yasuhiro. But are we sure he was really pointing the finger at Hiro?
What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
Kyoko, what do you mean by that?
Think back to how Hifumi used to talk to us. How did he refer to each of us?
You said people's last.
I got it! That's right! Our last names! He called us all by our last names!
Exactly. I know I heard him say Mr. Naegi more than once, for example. So if Hifumi did mean to say Hiro's name, he would have said his last name, Hagakure.
I'm sure it was just incidental. By chance, his first name. Indecent?
Don't talk.
Random chance. Now isn't that a convenient explanation? No. There's no reason to think he would have said the name any different than normal. But he must have run out of energy before he could say any more.
So Hifumi was trying to tell us the last name of whoever killed him?
But the name he said doesn't apply to anyone here.
Well, no. Hold on. There's one person it could apply to,
Celeste, because we don't know her last name.
and that's Celeste. She never actually told us what her real name
Wow,
is.
I'm a genius.
What did you just say? To think you'd take your false accusation so far, I don't know whether to laugh or spit! Come on! Enough with your idiotic blather! Yasuhiro is a
Wow, she sounds like
loser's name.
American
Do
or
I
something.
look like a loser to you? Well, do I? What? I think I've earned the right to be a little on edge.
Okay, then fill us in. What's your real name?
Make sure your ear holes are wide open and listen up! My real name is Celestia Ludenberg. Could you please stop making me repeat myself over and over again?
So let's figure it out. How would we figure out what a last name is? I guess it's just the e-handbook.
Hifumi was trying to tell us something.
Or maybe it was the message.
He wanted
that
us to
they-
know the killer's last name, Yasuhiro.
If there's one person here who might have that last name,
It would have to be you, Celeste. You haven't told anyone what your real name is.
how many times do I have to tell you? My name is Celestia Ludenberg! God damn it!
Upside down. Okay.
How long do you plan to go on pretending?
I'm not pretending. It's the truth. And since you have no way to contradict me, that's the only truth there is! Moron!
Okay, yes, the book. Okay.
Hifumi was trying. He wanted us to know the killer. If there's one person.
It would have to be you, Celeste.
How many times? Celestia Ludenberg!
How long do you plan?
I'm not pretending. And since
You have no way to... No, that's wrong. That's it. The handbook.
what?
Anytime you turn your handbook on, it shows the owner's name when it boots up, right? Monokuma told us all about it before.
Can't do it yet.
So all we have to do is check her handbook, and that'll clear up everything. That's how we can find out Celeste's real...
That's an invasion of privacy. I I refuse to cooperate!
Celeste, can you please just tell us what really happened? Please.
Even when I'm put in check, it's just my nature not to give up. Because... Until the game's over, you never know what might happen!
Alrighty then.
Let me settle it. Let me go over the case again.
These
from the
trials
beginning,
take so long though.
and shed light on all
It's
your
gonna
crimes.
be on like 2 hours by the end of this.
And that'll bring
Just for this
everything
trial.
to an end.
And I figured it out in 30 minutes. Okay, the closing time. Finally. Okay. I think I have a good idea of what's going on though. What's this? Wait, why is this still here? That's a completely different crime. So Celeste was talking. What is this? Okay, I'll move on. Talking with them. I guess. Hit him. What's here? I don't know what goes in the first two. I'll keep going. Pretty sure that's it. There's Taka. Just ammo. Oh. Wait. Ah, he's looking at his watch. Yeah, clock. Oh, is it the other clock? No, it's... no, okay. Then he hit him with the hammer. Then is that there? Oh. Or is that there? We don't need to go over it again. The list. Okay, rubbing blood all over his face. And then what? What is up with that? Is it Justice Hammer 3 here? Then we found them. Then... oh no. This one goes here. I'd have to get it... ah, dang it. So this one must be there. And then, finally... hit with the hammer. I think I got it mostly right. What goes here? That's all I can think of. And at the start... what goes here? Oh, there's 2 more things. What goes at the start? The stage doesn't make sense. Yeah, this whole page thing, I don't... Or does this go there? Because they're like meeting up? I guess so. Where was the other one? Maybe this one goes at the start because they're like meeting and he's like nervous. Then oh wait, was it? Sorry, wrong one. Here, because they're meeting. Then his backpack? I don't know why. No, I don't know. Maybe the clock? And then this one doesn't make that much sense. I don't understand. Like that doesn't make sense at all. Or maybe it does, because he's got that white paper in his hand and he's got white thing there. I'll just reenact and we'll see how it goes.
The killer is you!
Is this right?
Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder. And that person was
Go.
Hifumi. With an accomplice, the killer was able to execute a number of otherwise impossible schemes.
Oh, there's bags, chips there, I guess that's a clue. Ah, okay, got that right.
First, they convinced someone to meet them in the rec room last night at 1 in the morning. That someone they met with
That's
was
terrifying, Hifumi.
Hiro. The murderous duo intended to pass Hiro off as the prime suspect. They drugged him, knocked him out, and stuffed him into the Robo-Justice suit. Next, Hifumi positioned himself to make it look like Robo-Justice was attacking him, while the killer used a digital camera to take pictures of the assault. They did all this just to create evidence that would put the suspicion on Hiro. When they were done with him, they shoved him, still unconscious, into the pool room locker. And then finally, at 6 a.m., they moved into the murder phase of their plan. They called Taka to the equipment room.
This is a very elaborate plan, though.
And that's where Hifumi killed him. The murder weapon was Justice Hammer 4, which the reason Hammer number 4 was used was to create confusion about the order of the crimes. So, next they falsified
I think this
2
one's
more
wrong.
assaulted. For these attacks, the killers pretended to be the victims. The first fake incident was the attack in the rec room. There, the killers wanted us to see Justice Hammer 1, and the Robo-Justice pictures
Shouldn't
they
Makoto
take.
be dead? Why? Wouldn't you title him? Oh yeah. I guess so. I guess they're just not smart
They
enough.
wanted to make sure we bought the
Oh,
surprise
he's just got
attack
plot
story.
armor.
The second fake incident was this time, they planted Justice Hammer 2. With these two, that the we felt
Oh, I gotta put Justice Hammer 2 there, I think. Okay, Justice Hammer 2.
the
Reenact.
killer is you! So, for the first fake there, the killer they want to this with that the suspect was in, we fell right into.
Yeah, okay.
While we did that, we left Hifumi alone in the nurse's office. This was exactly what
Oh yeah, I completely forgot that he was in the library at first and got hit.
took a blood packet from the refrigerator and Justice Hammer 3
Majestic.
and turned the room into a crime scene. He let out a scream to draw us. Meanwhile, the other group that had been out searching found Taka's body, so when we heard the body discovery announcement, we left the nurse's office. When we learned his body had disappeared, we all rushed back and once again.
Okay, I think we got it now. I think we could just skip.
He wrapped that. But even
And then the murderer killed him. So there are
their
no
plan
accomplices.
all along, and they did it. Use that should cover.
Whoa, what's this? Now kiss. Oh, okay. What? They've never done this transition before unless I've skipped it.
Celeste.
This is really weird.
Sorry, you lose.
I lost?
You didn't adapt.
When was the last time I was forced to utter such words? They hang heavy around my neck.
Then you admit it? You're the killer?
Listen to you, trying to take charge, as if you're my private instructor. I, Celestia Ludenberg. Actually, no. Taiko Yasuhiro is fine.
Us. She was putting on the accent the whole time? Yeah, what's with the flowers? That was so weird.
Taiko?
So, you finally accepted it.
I'm the kind of person,
Whoa.
once I've lost, I don't like things to drag on.
This is very different.
Interesting.
Her other voice suited her looks more. That voice was just weird. Oh, look at me go. It's not that hard to get an A in this game.
Okay, Monokuma. I'm ready to begin. Or, no.
I guess that's the idea, but like... Shouldn't the second voice still be resembling of her?
I suppose this is the end, isn't it?
It is indeed the moment we've all been waiting for. Time to vote. Okay, if you would, please locate your lever and cap. And when the votes are tapped, will you make the right
I think we got it, Monokuma. I think we're not done, okay? I don't see what, because it's just a voice suits. It doesn't. I don't know. Basic formality at this point, but yep, you're correct. Yep. Da 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 da. I just want to see her die now.
Honest.
Fumi ineptitude was beyond my calculations.
I knew it.
So you really did approach Shifumi with the plan? But how did you get him to agree? Why don't they talk? This is still in his trial. Why can't they talk? Can't imagine he would have happily agreed to commit murder. I'm sure she relied on her specialty, lying. My specialty, not love. I didn't have to lie for him to agree.
So then,
Did you use, you know? I knew you'd figure it out, Kyoko. You're absolutely right. To get Hifumi to act as my accomplice, I used her, alter ego. For everyone who's still left, I'll avoid mentioning it by name. But it was the one thing Hifumi and Taiko are both referring to. Yeah, she's talking about.
Say what?
just a second.
Don't interrupt. We're in the middle of a very important conversation. I'm totally out of the loop. As usual, how sad.
In other words,
And you're the one that stole it. That's right.
I see.
And you come up with it. Right again, last night after we had a meeting about how it disappeared, I paid Hifumi a little visit. This is this room. It's got anime posted at the background. And what is that? What is that? I can't poke on screen. I can't move my mouse either. The little girl outfit at the back. What is that? Please don't tell me he wore that. Or even like, I don't know.
Actually,
When you talked alone, it was about the stolen. I know who did it.
What?
are you okay with this?
It was Taka, he stole it.
So then,
I have proof. You see, just see it. Delete a picture.
Damnation!
So it was him. But how did he do it? See, you're correct, which is why Taka forced me to steal it.
Say what?
as for me,
Oh.
Well, that
As
is a
for
lie.
me-
She said that she didn't lie. She lied.
What? Damnation!
So he lied that Taka took it instead of she actually taking it.
most unfortunate. Actually,
What?
indeed. Honestly,
I swear!
actually,
So, a little recap, I guess. Basically, she just made Hifumi think that Taka took it and was going to kill Hifumi for Alter Ego. And then, instead of that, they would team up and then kill Taka.
I
And then
see.
everything would be fine. But that's all a lie! What a slow because you're stupid. That's it.
let's see.
And in that regard, I made the right choice. I'm so glad your stupidity surpassed my every expectation. Life must have been tough for your parents. Ah, she's so savage. I feel like I could cry.
Well,
But when you were explaining your plan to Hifumi, how did you explain the part about him playing dead? What she's asking is, what was Hifumi supposed to do after that, assuming you had actually let him live?
Are you okay with
Not
this?
simple. After he did his part and pretended to be dead once he showed up, I told him he'd been seriously wounded. He was on the verge of death. But he just barely held on. It's not inaccurate though. And he really believed that. Well, of course, that wasn't all there was to it, as it was explained to Hifumi that plan was, while you were all questioning him about what had happened to him, I was going to murder someone else. At that point, Hifumi would have an alibi, so nobody would have doubted him. I could have done that. Stereotypical.
so in the end,
You plan to kill him all along, of course.
What the heck?
How can human life mean so little to you?
Well,
That's a non-issue. I simply did everything in my power to win.
Don't be mean!
Now you sound like Byakuya! No one should sound like Byakuya.
I wonder about
No,
that.
he derives his pleasure from the thrill of the hunt. In that aspect, we are nothing alike.
Why?
Then what made you take things so far?
What the heck?
Was it really just for money? Are you talking about the 10 million? That is a lot of money, it's true. But that's not all that there is to it. So that moment, our lives began. My only thought was escape.
But
You've been saying how we should accept living here.
You little bitch.
Obviously that was a lie. But that is actually the logical thing! Just live here, people. It ain't that hard.
Hey!
I couldn't take it, I hated it. From day one. More than anyone else in here.
You
I wanted to
little
get out.
bitch.
Every day was fresh torture. And you know why?
This is fine.
Because I had a dream. And accepting my life here would have meant nothing less than giving up my dream forever.
honestly, as for me,
They talk too
isn't
much.
it wonderful?
To live in a European castle, that's your dream? You would go through all this trouble just to live in a castle. Well then. Gather handsome men from all over the world to serve as my butlers / bodyguards. I was gonna make them dress up like vampires and satisfy my every need. Well, sure. Once I obtained that, I would have created a perfectly aesthetic world of decadence.
This is fine.
Living the rest of my life there was my only dream, my only goal. That's what life is all about. She's an anti-weeb? Is that anti though? That looks pretty weeby to me. Combined with my own winnings, Monokuma 10 million, I would have made it. Yep. But right.
There is
yes,
nothing to be done.
unfortunately, Don't.
Just the word.
Oh, do you understand?
That's all to me. Yeah, I know. How is it reverse? Reverse. Okay, not. Okay, I guess so.
What is this?
That's.
Yes, indeed.
But a weeb doesn't have to be a guy.
Isn't it wonderful?
A weeb can be a lady. Okay, let's just kill her already.
Girls, champ!
Yes,
Now then,
we are
I
done.
prepare. Let's give it a...
I guess. What? Will it really give you the hope you're looking for? I can't say I ever saw it that way. Which is why, actually, it's not important. Well then,
You're about to die.
Take
Everything
care,
you say is
Cooper.
important. Because you can't say it again. Ah, because she's European. It's reverse. Okay, I guess so. Or because he's Japanese. I don't know.
perhaps we'll meet again. In another life.
Game over for Celeste. Oh, okay, right. Ah, she gets her own little castle. Isn't that nice? The dream comes true. What is the bunny on top? The burning of her Versailles witch. How is this ironic to her ultimate status? Witch burning, yes. But I thought every death was supposed to be punishment death was supposed to be ironic to their, like, title. Wasn't she ultimate gambler? What? Is she happy? What is that face? What? Well, I guess that is ironic. You're in flames, and you get crushed by a fire truck. Well, that's that. The third execution is over. I've just been a witch burning. Because they gotta make a twist and everything in this game. Celeste's death is over. Celeste killing my friends. So I can't pity her, but I can't also deny at one point I did consider her a friend too. And for him to just come along and... Isn't it just awful? Someone couldn't cut free of their regrets from the outside world, and so more people had to die. Finally the class trial is over, yeah.
Extreme!
2 hours just for one class trial. You guys are still young. You need to place more value in your lives.
What are you gonna do?
Geez, and here I thought you guys were gonna pass the torch of hope to the next generation.
Let me out of here!
Whoa, what do you care about hope? I'll throw it in the trash if you just let me out of here.
Too bad.
You're all the embodiment of hope, whether you like it or not. And it's my destiny to knock you down one by one. It's sad, yes, it is. But that reality just can't be avoided. Don't talk like you're not responsible. Don't talk like that. How long are you gonna make us keep going through this? What do you want from us?
How strange.
God, I'm so sick of people asking me that. Give it to rest already. So anyways... Kyoko, did you get some kind of key type object from Celeste?
Hey!
So, what's the deal with that?
What?
What's the matter?
So then,
I'll answer your question if you answer mine.
you...
What did you do? What did you do to me?
Ooh,
What?
Hey,
Answer me, what did you do to my body?
Ooh.
Oh man, oh jeez, oh man, oh jeez. What do you mean, what did I do? I have no idea. I don't know anything about it. What's going on here? What just happened now? The mastermind did something to Kyoko's body. What does that mean?
Hello.
Okay, things are getting kind of awkward. I think it's about time I gotta get out of here.
Well,
Meanwhile, you guys can go and enjoy your school life. If you get lonely, give me a shout. Not that I'll do anything about it, of course.
see ya later.
Alright. Monokuma disappeared, leaving us all depressed and in despair. Although it wasn't all despair. There was one small hope. What was the key Celeste gave you?
so
It's the key to the dressing room lockers.
Hey,
Okay, so she has the
Indeed.
laptop there. Cool. Can I please save and end? No? Okay. As we approached the dressing room, Kyoko looked back at us. I said,
hey,
I'm going to go on from here alone. Everyone else, head to the dining hall. I'll check in with you later.
What?
Why exactly are you going alone?
so
Do you even have to ask? As she spoke, she glanced quickly at the surveillance cameras.
Come on.
That's not what I mean. Why you? There's still a risk of a spy, you know. Then I'll go too.
What?
You. Please let me go. Standing here arguing is just going to draw more attention
Goodbye.
to us. Do whatever you want.
well then.
Then it's up to you now.
Yo!
Does that mean what I think it means? No! This is a life and death situation. There's no time for dating.
Okay.
Could have go totally push over. I don't trust the guy that solved literally all of the murders. Yeah, true. Byakuya just hates
shall
everyone.
we go?
10 out of 10 Byakuya. Don't say that while Tiger's
So
around,
then-
she'll hate you. We need to get into that locker. Swung open, we saw it's a laptop.
You really came.
Good morning. It's been a while, hasn't it? It's safe, thank goodness. I've never heard Kyoko sound so relieved. It was like she was speaking from the bottom of her heart. I just did what Celeste asked. I didn't say a word. I stayed quiet the entire time. And then people died, thanks to you, Chihiro robot.
So,
I think I might be able to open the last set of files soon, maybe as early as tomorrow. I'll do my best, so please just wait a while longer. So now we can officially say the case is closed. As far as the incident is concerned, sure, but can we take a second? Since we have the opportunity, I want you to be honest with me. Kyoko, please tell me, what are you trying to do all on your own here at the school?
You.
Is that why you wanted to come with me?
However,
Regardless, that's not something you need to know right now. I don't need to know. That just makes it me even more worried.
what?
Worried. Like what happened during the investigation this time? You disappeared and we didn't see you again. Without warning, without explanation. When you do that,
Indeed.
it's only natural that they think I'm the mastermind spy, right? And you too? No! I believe in you.
What?
You believe in me? Isn't it obvious? People believe in their friends, right? That's why I want you to tell me. And I want you to believe in me too. Because we're friends. And friendship's magical. I understand.
It's true.
Then maybe I can believe in you. Just a little bit more. Then?
That's fine.
Fine, I'll tell you. Tell you why I've been disappearing and where I've been going. You see, we're not gonna know, are we? What I heard from Kyoko then was, well, frankly, kinda blew my mind. Right after I told Kyoko I believe in her, she told me a story that was, well, almost the ultimate power according to Japan. Power of friendship. Almost unbelievable. I decided to confirm what she told me, but with my own two eyes, so I waited for nighttime to come. And then, when I did, I went into action.
Correct.
The boys' bathroom on the second floor doesn't have a surveillance camera or monitor in it. And the storage closet in there, way in the back. She said it was way in the back, but could Kyoko really be right about this? What are we gonna uncover? Friendship is mad. Way in the back. Why can't I click on it? Is this bugging out? Oh, there we go. It's just a normal storage closet as far as I can tell. The secret Kyoko told me about. Could it really be hidden here? What? Oh, there's a hidden wall. She said it was hidden back in the storage closet. But I mean, seriously? Without thinking, I placed my hand on the back of the storage closet. And suddenly, as if I were being yanked in. Kashunk! At the same time, as I heard the sound, I fell through the wall. I had no idea what was going on. Ba-boom. I had fallen through the back storage closet. Back of the storage closet. No. It turned out, the back wall was a revolving door, and I'd made my way to the other side. Just like Kyoko said.
Correct.
In the boys' room, second floor, there's college. Go back. There's a secret room. So this is a secret room. But what's in here? Just an order. There's a bunch of files that and what look like volume after volume of yearbooks. They're all covered in dust. Looking at everything, one file at the edge of the bookshelf caught my eye. Hope's Peak Academy Student Registry. This is the only thing in here not covered in dust. Has someone been looking at it recently? I slipped the file into my hand, but before I had a chance to take a look, Monokuma? Oh, no, a slip of paper fell out, and I turned my attention to it. You must not leave. What's this? You must not leave. That's kind of weird. I could understand if it said, like, I can't leave, but you must not leave? What is this? My head feels funny. This strange sensation. It's like deja vu. Those words, you must not leave. I've seen them somewhere before, but I can't quite remember. What do I know? What don't I know? Whoa. Kushunk. A strange sound rang through my head. It felt like it was shaking my brain back and forth. And then, darkness. I don't understand what's happening. Don't understand what started it. It's all over. And with that, I opened my eyes. I didn't know how long it had been. Rip. Ow. Apparently something hit me, and I lost consciousness. We finally started listening. Someone tried to kill him. That's all I understood. The dull throbbing in my head proved that much at least. And everything's gone. An empty bookshelf. Empty. Gone. It's all gone. The yearbooks, the student registry, and even the note that had fallen on the floor. It's all gone. What does this mean? But my brain refused to do any more work. The insisted pain in my head began to spread across the rest of my body. For now, I should go back to my room. Get some rest. We have some mysteries to discover. My body was heavy, dull with pain. My mind was heavy with thought. I dragged myself back towards my room. Somehow I made it to the first floor of the school. The farther I walked, the more I felt things getting blurry. I can't see. In front of me, I couldn't stop myself from collapsing right there. And after that... As if in the vast distance I heard a noise. It was faint, but undeniable. That sound, it's coming from the gym. As I just hold my shaky frame towards the gym. He talked to me. Oh, that's like... That's like we were talking about different things. Try and keep on the stream. Sound will get stronger and stronger. Crack! Grah! What's going on? It can't be nothing. Here in the gym? Why was my like cursor changing colors? It didn't make a sound as I opened the door. Sounds coming from inside. Meanwhile, only intensified that much more. Alright, no problem. Well, welcome back. And that's the good news, I guess. You left. Kachak, Byakwa. Byakwa, da da da, sha 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 sha. Whoa, what? What is going on? Before me, there raged a battle beyond anything humanly possible. No one side's not human. No, one side's not human, but that's sure, but regardless, I couldn't stop staring. I've got to move or even breathe. Oh yes, panties. Yeah, there was a random panty shot in that.
Why, you? What do you think you're doing? I asked you a question. What's the meaning of this? How dare you defy me? This wasn't part of the deal!
Is he the spy? Or she? She is the spy?
I've made a decision. I will no longer retreat, no longer compromise, no longer regret. I've made my decision. I'm going to resist you.
You don't want Bay to die? I think they do die. Just spoilers.
Okay. But you do realize what will happen if you go through with this, right? You haven't forgotten, have you? What I'm holding hostage?
What am I hearing? A hostage? Then could it be? Mastermind spy is... The next generation legend. Stand tall, galactic hero. And... how many people are left now? 7. To be continued. Alright. I got the Super Robot Justice present. Great. Okay, I'll save here. And that's where I'll end today. 2 hours and 14 minutes. Oh, what? Oh, okay, I'm gonna continue this just because we are already into it. Leon killed Sakya. Monokuma killed Junko. Murder Sol. Then Leon got executed. Then Mondo killed Chihiro. Then Mondo got executed. Hifumi killed Taka. Then Celeste killed Hifumi. Then Celeste got executed. And that brings us up to now. Thanks for the recap, Makoto. We really needed that after listening to these things over and over again. The next morning in the dining hall, the day after the Celeste case. So now there's only 5 of us here. Wait, I thought it was 7. Well, I guess they don't include Toko and Byakuya.
Indeed.
Loneliness has become commonplace. This is true. Still. What did I see yesterday? I don't understand. Sakura is the mastermind spy? Can that really be true? Makoto, are you okay? I knew Celeste is a jerk. Yeah, I thought we were finished. Yeah, but they just keep talking. I want to get to a point where I can, like, stop. Actually. But no, I'm fine. I can't bring that up in front of the others. If I did that, it would just confuse everyone much more. Okay. We should remain Swolkara. Swolkara. Okay, in that case, let's eat till we pass out. What do you mean in that case? Because look at how scary everyone looks. It's gotta be because we're fighting on an empty stomach, right? If you fill your belly, I'm sure we'll all cheer up.
Okay.
That's like deep impact style, medium impact, extinction level, event combination of foods. Okay.
I see.
It's
Wait,
true.
can I just end? I might just... I don't know. Oh, it's not. That's right. After we finish talking in the dining hall, I think I should be able to, You want to date someone as buff as Sakura? I don't think I would. Like, even if I was a lady and I liked guys. That's a bit too buff. I don't know. You do you.
You got it!
You know? For serious.
Well...
Totally not gonna die. Why? Because there ain't gonna be any more murders. What makes you so sure?
According to the spirits...
I predicted it last night since it revealed itself to me in the ether. There's no doubt about it.
However,
How accurate is your fortune telling anyway? Wasn't it like 40%?
How about that?
20 or 30% on a good day. That seems really low.
It's not like some occult mystery.
Oh yeah, it's not like ESP or whatever. Of course I'm gonna get it right sometime.
The occult is bullcrap!
Someone's gonna run in. Someone will be dead.
So,
Fortune telling isn't a cult.
You got it all wrong!
Of course not. Clairvoyance is clairvoyance. Don't put it in the same category as cattle mutilation.
Huh?
Cattle, what?
So...
What? He's referring to the urban legend where aliens abduct cows and dissect them. Okay.
Actually,
No. You're calling it an urban legend? As a matter of fact, it's true. As a matter of fact, it happened to me. It all happened one day when I went to get a hamburger. It was a place I'd never been before. They claimed the patties were 100% all beef. This is a weird story. So I got the burger to go and headed home.
but
And before long,
the end is nigh!
the sky was filled with a mysterious blinding light.
Some crazy beam came out of nowhere and locked onto my hamburger. And as soon as the beam touched it, the burger started floating in midair.
What is this? You love this dude. He's definitely one of the more, like, extra guys.
And then, still floating there, the entire burger started coming apart. One part of it just vanished, while the rest fell back into my hand. Do you realize what that means?
You're crazy.
It means the burger wasn't 100% beef. They must have had some pork or something mixed in.
What conclusion is this?
Something like 70% pork and 30% beef would be my guess. You can't
Why?
trick me.
What are you coming to? What does this mean? It wasn't 100% beef. They totally mixed in ground pork with it.
How about that?
Do you now see? That is cattle mutilation. I don't know what he's going on about. Most of my friends sound like stoners like him. I kinda got lost halfway through. Me too, Makoto. Me too. I can't tell if you're for the occult or against it. You stink of stupidity.
Don't be mean.
I stink of. How dare you? Well, you do stink though. That's fine. That's fine. Anyway, every prediction turns out to be true. Well, at the very least, I won't murder anyone.
yeah!
Me either. I mean, I would never.
of course.
Me either.
Indeed.
Nor I. That goes for me too, of course. I could never kill any of my friends. I felt like those words of encouragement were helping us come together as one. Poor pony. Probably horse, actually, yeah. After so much sacrifice and hardship, we'd finally become united, but
Well,
to be honest, I wish Bakura and Toka were here for this too.
But...
But they're so hard to deal with. They only think about themselves. Yeah, we're better off without them. What I say? Makoto would have an easy time murdering someone. Yeah, I guess so. That was enough to prove we were united for the time being, but within that bond were hidden weaknesses and fragility. Alright. The start of chapter 4. All-Star Prodigies. Am I in my room so I can save now? And just stop? I have to find out what was I had opened first. Alright. This is where I'll save. These like goes for so long. And I can't really end it halfway through because you want to know. You saw a lip bite, shush, you know. Anyway. That's gonna be it. Gotta do the double save. But thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time on CD Cruise Live. probably not going to stream tomorrow morning. Or maybe the day after. So, goodbye.